Hey folks, we are back at Greater Faith, and like I said, we're in the home stretch. Everything inside the sanctuary is done. Just got to get some, I think I did the zip ties to secure the wires. I need to put conduits from the TVs down the wall to hide the cables. I have a floor mat that I think I canceled by mistake last night, so I got to order that again, but that's not really serious. Put a wall and another conduit in that back room to hide the cables, make them look nice and neat coming down the wall. Mike is going to remove all that stuff with the new sound system when it comes in. I think he can actually start doing that today. I'm not 100% sure. The last time I believe I need to go into the attic is I'm going to tempt fate and I'm going to cut the cable that's going into the fellowship hall right now to attempt to wire the Ethernet cable and pull it in there, because there's not enough room to get into the space that I need to get to. So for example, I'm here waiting for people to get here. So let me take you here and show you the part. So the wire that I got is somewhere right here, right where that meets, because there's the brick wall right here, and I pushed the cable through. But to get into this area, I crawled up here, and there is no way for me to fit into that space right here, because it's actually a wall right here in the ceiling. So the wire is here somewhere. So the idea is to tape off the Ethernet cable, because the RG6 that's running the original cable from the sanctuary is running through this wall and it's coming down this way. And I went in here yesterday and there's an air conditioning duct all the way down, so I can't go any further. I can't crawl in there. But then the cable is being pulled all the way in here and then pulls over into the fellowship hall. So the thought is to try and tape off the box of Ethernet cable that I have and add another maybe 100-foot inside, over top of the sanctuary where we did the cables the other day. Hopefully put that in there and maybe should be able to pull that. I'm kind of hesitant about doing that, because if it fails, there's no way for me to get up there and fix that easily. So I don't know. We're gonna see what we're gonna do. If worst case scenario, if that does not work, I'm gonna just stick with it, and then I just need to extend the coax that's in the fellowship hall down the wall and then connect it into there. But let me get inside. It's actually supposed to be a storm today, so I'm gonna try and get as much knocked out as possible. And the man with the keys is here, so let me get inside. All right, so we're just doing some cleanup. One TV down. I screwed the bracket actually behind the wall. Got the conduit hiding the Cat 6 cable, and we're just gonna move our way around. I'm not gonna do these back TVs yet, because those are the ones that are giving me issues right now with the extender. I just wanna get the ones up here that are working and then focus my attention on the feed that's coming from the sanctuary to make sure it's coming up over here. All right, folks, I'm a little disappointed. I haven't done that much recording because I have been knee deep in trying to figure out what in the world's going on. The PTZ camera, all of a sudden, even though we ran that straight line, is saying it's a short on the cable, which doesn't make sense. I'm still getting an image on both of these TVs, nothing on these back. But more importantly, I'm not getting anything on the SDI cable. The cable that's running all the way back tested fine, but it's showing a short, and I'm not getting anything, which is infuriating. So I've been here way longer on this side than I thought. I thought I was just going to be doing the conduits, but as you can see, I only got one. Those other two I'm not touching. I don't know what's going on, and it's frustrating. I'm gonna do one more thing here. Maybe it's the plug that I have for the the SDI to HDMI. I don't know. I'm gonna switch that. If not, I have to get back onto the other side because I have a hard stop here at 1:30. But I don't know. Maybe this might be more of a talking head more than I want to, but let me get this knocked out. And again, sorry that I'm in my undershirt. It got way too hot over here. But we're gonna try and close up. I mean, I got the new cable pulled from over the other side. I just not getting a signal on it. So let's go ahead and square this away. We're gonna have to be back on Monday, maybe, because all my other connectors are gonna be delivered today. The clean BNC connectors, because I ran out yesterday, those are gonna be here. So we're just gotta come back most likely and try and figure out what's going on. I'll talk through the plan, the contingency plan, if we have to go that route. All right, folks, it looks like the day has been shut down for us because the power went out here. There's nothing but the emergency lights on. The power's back on in parts of the building, but flipping the fuses in certain places isn't changing anything. So I don't know. I will still explain my other issue that I'm having here. But you see the storm has started, so let me hurry up and get up out of here while it's light, and we'll continue this conversation once I get home. Hey folks, so it took me a lot longer to do this. It is almost midnight, and finally getting around to talking about what happened at Greater Faith today. So I was jokingly talking about it that I must have started developing the X gene for my mutant powers or something like that, because for whatever reason, now I didn't show it, but when I pulled the cables in the attic above the sanctuary, I did electrical tape around them in a bundle of 3 cables to make it easy to pull. And for whatever reason, nothing, I'm nowhere close to any electrical lines. Everything that I saw up there is in conduit. There was there, but for whatever reason, I wasn't getting a signal to the cable that's going to the back to the fellowship hall. Put a tester on it. Seems like it was the right line, but again, I can't get into the ceiling going into the entrance of the fellowship hall. But for whatever reason, when I was testing the line, I felt like my hand was going numb. And then I had Mike to touch it. He didn't have an issue. He handed the cables back to me, and I literally felt shocked. And then I gave the cables back to Mike. He still didn't feel anything. For whatever reason, I was forming a circuit or something like that when I was holding the main line that I was assuming that was going back to the fellowship hall and any other cable. When I did that, I felt a surge through my hands. And then even when I dropped the cable and I was working on something else, the cable hit me on my shoulder, and I felt that as well too. So I don't know what's going on. And Mike, he was standing right beside me. So it's not like I was faking it or anything like that. And I just don't know. But the other thing that happened is, obviously I'm here in Richmond, Virginia. Ida or whatever, the storm was coming, and it knocked out the power while we were there at church. So we couldn't finish up everything. But right before that happened, I showed y'all the video, and I have it for my own reference as well too. The PTZ camera that's in the fellowship hall is not sending a signal over the SDI cable and to the SDI converter to HDMI that's going into the ATEM. I wasn't getting anything. I'm not getting anything from the SDI cable at all. I put a tester on it. It said it's a short. That doesn't make sense because that's a brand new line that's not beside anything. It's just a bunch of weird stuff that's going on. I wasn't planning on going back there tomorrow, but we need to clean up, and I don't know. I need to edit this part and talk about what I'm gonna do hindsight is 2020. What I'm sitting back thinking, I wanted to make it easy. If I bring up the schematic of how I was going to design the system, we had it separate to where HDMI input number 1 was going to be the feed coming from the sanctuary on all the TVs. If they wanted to have anything go inside the fellowship hall, that would go to HDMI number 2 that's being powered by the ORI. That those 2 TVs are still not working for some odd reason, now that the cables are in the ceiling. And it would just be on input number 2, and then everything that's inside of the fellowship hall would come from the A10 Mini Pro. For whatever reason, none of that is working now. I don't know if it was the storm or something like that, but it's just strange that stuff is not working now. So what I'm sitting back thinking about is, because I wanted it to be simple, so what I think I may do is run one fiber HDMI cable from the back of the PTZ, fish that back down the wall, and that's connected to the ATEM, so there's no converter or nothing, and it just goes directly into the ATEM. Figure out what's going on with the cables to the TVs over SDI, and completely bypass the ORI 1x4 HDMI extender, and just have everything just go into the SDI if I can get those working again. The idea would be is input number 1 on the A10 Mini Pro will be the feed from the SDI to an HDMI converter that we already have. That will go into the ATEM, so if anybody wants to watch what's going on in the sanctuary, they just turn the whole system on, which includes the A10 Mini Pro, and then it just comes on. But if they want to have anything goes on in the fellowship hall, the whole system will be turned on in the fellowship hall, and they just have to switch it to input number 2, which will be the camera that's on the ceiling. That's what I'm sitting thinking about right now. That would mainly entail just changing out a cable. I already have one of those, so I might actually install that tomorrow, switch it out to the PTZ from the HDMI fiber optic cable, run that down, and then I also believe I'm going to switch out the joystick as well to something else. And sorry if the camera is looking different. I'm in my bedroom, and I just got the new Sony Easy EV ZV1 or whatever it's called. So I'm testing it out right now along with the Rode Wireless 2. So I don't know how this is going to do. I had to test this out at the same time, but yeah, it was really weird. Today I was in the fellowship hall significantly longer than I thought because of video issues that were just causing very, very strange issues. And then I might have to go back and redo how I have everything there. If I can get the SDI cable working and a feed going to it, hopefully that should work. I'm not going to really pull up any cables or do anything like that. I'll probably just cut the Ethernet. I'll leave the Ethernet cables there, put the conduits there, and just leave them there in place. And since the ORI was there, I'll just have it there in case and maybe figure something out. But the main thing is to just have everything run through the SDI into HDMI input number 1 on each one of the TVs, and just run a direct connection. So I think for right now, what I'll just do is take my fiber HDMI cable, just hook it up to the PTZ directly, dangle the cable on the floor, plug it into the ATEM. Does it show up over the HDMI to SDI converter, which is over there. Yeah, I had 2 of them that came in. One is for Epworth and the other one is for, I install that I'm doing in Mount Pleasant back in my aunt's church. So yeah, so what I'll do is I need to remember, take this with me, HDMI to SDI converter. This will take the output from the ATEM, send it to the SDI splitter that they already had there in the room, and just see, do I get a signal? If I get a signal on there, I would just leave that here and then go. Because the only other thing was to buy 5 HDMI fiber cables and just run those to each one of the TVs, which I really don't want to do. If I got to go in the attic, I'd rather go down the center where is the cable for the PTZ. That's really straightforward. And then I got to fish another cable down there. And then I still got to figure out what's going on with the signal. I re-terminated the cables, went back up in the attic again before the power went out. And unless it's something in the attic right above the sanctuary, there's nothing where I'm at that's touching anything electrical in any way, shape, or form. So I don't know why those cables are hot. Maybe I'll just become static and I'll be like Static Shock, and I got the powers like that, if y'all know what that cartoon's about. Maybe I'll put a picture of him and a little bleep of his theme music on there. But anyway, that's what we got. I finished setting up some other stuff for Epworth here. Their case is supposed to be here Friday. I built the system that's sitting on the table right now. Let me take you so you see that. And then we're gonna get back to that other stuff tomorrow. So if I take this around. So here's the system. Like I said, I just put the whole thing together right here. Everything is here except for the case. So the good thing is Windows is installed, everything is installed. The ATEM has already been set up. I already put that stuff away. So this is all their stuff right here. Here's the TV for the multi-view and everything like that. Joystick, all that other cool stuff. And actually, I need to take that joystick with me because that's the one that I'm gonna swap out. And yeah. See, I got a whole bunch of stuff going on right now. So anyway, let me get this video done so it can be posted tomorrow, and then we're gonna go back to Greater Faith to see if we can figure out what's going on. And it's gonna be a short day because I gotta take my daughter to an open house for school. Starts with her next week. So that's about it. Oh, and also I'm let y'all know there's gonna be no Q&A this Friday because my daughter has a dentist appointment, and it's going to be around the same time where I was going to be doing this. And then I also have an appointment with another church with my brother-in-law. So yeah, won't be able to do that Friday. Might do something Saturday, I don't know. But anyway, folks, we will catch up with y'all on the next video. Later.